Billy Mays here with another fantastic product, the chin mount. That's right, the chin mount. Today's video is about the, what am I making a video about? Fly Racing Formula CC. All this time we made a mount a long time ago. It was like one of the first mounts that we made for the Fly Formula CP helmet. And did not realize that they also made an exact replica of that helmet that's just enough different that our mount doesn't fit it. So we went back and made another mount for the Fly Formula CC. If you haven't guessed already, we make a line of motorcycle helmet chin mounts, mostly focused around off-road, ADV, enduro, motocross, mountain bike. And this is a great example of just how customized these mounts can actually get. This thing is a one of a kind. As you can kind of see, kind of contrast that to this AGV helmet that I also just finished. Looks like it could fit a number of different ADV helmets or even street helmets. It is specifically designed for that helmet, but this thing is not going to fit any other helmet. It is custom made for this, and it's just not going to fit anything else. Not only are they designed specifically for the mounting surface, this piece of it here, but we also take into account the tip back angle. When you're riding and you're in the attack position, your head's tilted forward, you're standing up on the bike, you want to tip your camera back enough so that way you can get a parallel view of the horizon. Because if your camera was mounted up here, where like a lot of different chin mounts mount it and you stand up, you're going to be looking at the ground. You don't want that. You want to get the best view of the horizon possible, and our mounts are designed with that in mind. So we've gotten a lot of questions about whether or not our mounts work with the newer, later model GoPro media mods, and yes, they do. Obviously, you can get the same tip back angle. They have lots of space for that. We do have an reverse screw direction with our mounts that go in this direction, whereas most GoPro's accessories and GoPro mounts are set up to go through this way. The reason that we did that is so that with these battery doors, the battery door is on this side, so you open it and you wouldn't have the screw head getting in the way. When it comes to the media mod, they have this cutout on the underneath side, and with the intention of having the screw go through the other direction. You can't take advantage of that, but it doesn't really matter anyways, because all the electronics are here on this side, which makes this side of the media mod a little bit thicker. On this side, you don't have that, so you can actually get a finger on the end of the screw head anyways, and you can actually get a better hold of it. One of the last cool features of our mounts is that we've made these tilt back angle indicators, and that allows you to see where your mount is tilted back to and get a consistent tilt back angle. Now, normally what I do is I just line it up so it's parallel with the top of the eye port, and that's about right. That's about as far back as you needed it to be tilted. But in the case with like an ADV helmet, where you might be sitting down and you're not necessarily tilted in an aggressive position at all times, if you're sitting down and you're riding more like that, you might want to have a visual indicator of where the right tilt back angle is, so just by experimenting with it, and you kind of get a feel for it after a while. So visual indicator is just a nice addition to allow you to line that up easily and get a consistent tilt back angle. So one question that we've been getting recently is what GoPros does this chin mount work with? And it should work with all of the GoPros, or it does work with all the GoPros, from the original GoPro Hero all the way up to the Hero 10, which is this one with the media mod. Really, it shouldn't give you any issues. Now, we've designed these to work with GoPros, and they can also work with any other action camera like the DJI Osmo. I know there's a bunch of different ones out there, but as long as they have the GoPro mounting feet. I know there's like the Sony camera, which actually looks like a tiny camcorder. Seen those around, they're not totally popular, but I mean, I guess you could probably mount that with maybe there's an adapter for it. So the last cool feature I want to talk about is the material that our mounts are made out of. These are made out of a hard rubberized material called TPU. It's a flexible material that's impact resistant and won't break if you smack your face into the handlebars, or you drop your helmet on the ground, or God forbid you go flying over the handlebars. We have really beaten these mounts. We smashed them with a sledgehammer, we ran them over with a truck, we threw bricks at them. We did basically everything you could do to try to break one of these. We did all to the same mount, and it was perfectly usable afterwards. But that being said, it's impact resistant, and it's not going to go flying into pieces if you crash with it. On that same note, if you did rip it off, these mounts are mounted to the helmet using a double-sided mounting sticky tape. We glue the tape to the mount, so you will need to get Gorilla Clear Grip glue. It's a rubberized glue, and we sell replacement tape on our website, so if you do need that to be able to remount or mount to the helmet, you'll be able to do that, and the mount should be fine and perfectly usable after that. So the last thing I want to talk about real quick is wide chin mounting. So in the past, of course, you've probably seen people who mount their GoPros to the top of their helmet or to the side of their helmet. The reason that we like mounting the helmet or the GoPro on the chin of the helmet is that it gives you the lowest possible point of view while still being attached to your head, so you get that first-person perspective. But it gives you the ability to see kind of a deeper perspective of the terrain, gives you a better idea of how big the obstacles are that you're actually going over. As opposed to it being mounted up here, it actually looks like you're looking down on the terrain and everything looks a lot more flat. Whereas here, it kind of feels like you're seeing what you were seeing when you're actually riding the motorcycle. Another good reason for chin mounting is the audio pickup. With it being centered right in front of your mouth, you get a lot better vocal reception, whereas it being up here, it sounds kind of distant. You really have to kind of be yelling at the camera in order to hear it. Whereas right here, you get really good audio pickup, especially if you're trying to do moto vlogging or something like that.
Wait, and there was oil leaking out of here.
Where?
Here? Wasn't there? When you punched it?
Yeah, I punched it here.
And that was...
did it again.
Just now, huh?
Yeah.
Lastly is the protection element. So with it being mounted on the side of the helmet or on the top of the helmet, there again, it's exposed to tree branches. It's likely to get ripped off if it gets hit by something. And if it's mounted on your chin, even if you go over the bars and you crash, you're more likely to turn your face away to the side rather than go straight into it. So in that way, it does help protect your GoPro and keep it from just getting completely obliterated or knocked off. Best case scenario, it gets tipped back and you get like hours of footage of the sky. Worst case scenario, you lose your GoPro altogether if it's mounted somewhere where you can't see it. So chin mounting is just a really good place to keep your GoPro. There we go. So now the last thing I want to talk about is what we actually sell. So you're gonna get a mount. These are older mounts. You can see these are hard plastic, and they're a little bit more brittle. So with the rubberized ones, you don't have to worry about that factor of it. You can see the double-sided mounting tape that comes on the back of it. You're gonna get a couple of cool stickers. You're gonna get an alcohol cleaning pad, and this is to clean your helmet. Most of the time, you're probably not gonna be mounting this on a brand new helmet. So clean the mounting surface once you know where that is, and just make sure your helmet's all cleaned up so that it can stick as good as possible. And you're gonna get a screw. So when it comes to mounting these, the rubberized mounts are a lot easier to mount onto the helmet. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna fit it up to the helmet with the tape still on and just figure out where it's supposed to go. In this case, it's completely obvious, right? There's only really one spot that can go, but with a mount like this, it might be a little bit different. You might wanna just figure out where that goes. So once you understand that and you clean the mount or the helmet, then go ahead and peel off the backing. I like to hold the helmet between my knees with the helmet facing me, and then peel back on the wings a little bit, place it in to the depth that you know it's supposed to go at. So with these rubberized mounts, you can really pull them apart. You don't necessarily want to do that, right? You want to understand the depth because they're specifically designed to fit on the helmet at a certain spot. And if you go in too deep, you might be too close to the helmet, so you don't want that. So just pull it open just enough, go into where you know it's supposed to go, let it off, and then just press it down and it'll stick all the way around, and you should never have a problem with it coming off. So the last thing you might want to check out while you're on our store is our 90-degree adapter. So if you're shooting native content for Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, or Facebook Reels, you may want to consider shooting at a 90-degree direction, right? So shooting it like that. That basically allows you to get the full aspect ratio, all of the pixels within your frame, so that you don't have to crop the image when you're trying to upload it to one of your favorite social media sites. It allows you to get just better high quality footage. that you don't have to spend as much time editing. Check out the links in the description below. You'll find the link to our store where you can find all of our mounts. Check out our Instagram if you want to see what the footage looks like from that chin mounting perspective. Check out our podcast where we interview a ton of different professional racers like Graham Jarvis and Cody Webb and all of the names, right? We're working on that. We've got like 11 episodes now and growing. And buy a mount. That's all I have to say.